a negative angle would be measured clockwise. Okay. To plot a point with a negative radius, find the terminal side of the angle. Then measure from the pole in the negative direction of the terminal side. Note that there are many ways to list the same point in polar coordinate system. So look here. So the first one is about negative angle. Negative angle should be measured clockwise. Okay, we always know that at the standard position, we start at this line, a positive x-axis. When you have positive, you will rotate counterclockwise. But if you have negative angle, it will rotate downward. Downward means clockwise. Okay, so it goes down here. In addition, if you have negative radius, okay, negative radius, how to plot negative radius? First, you have to find the terminal side of the angle, but then measure from the pole in the negative direction of the terminal side. We'll do in the exercise, in the following exercise, okay? And note that there are many ways to list the same point in a polar coordinate system. So one point can be represented by more than one coordinates in polar coordinates. Okay, so number 4, plot the point of polar coordinates 3, -1, 5, 0. So the first element is r and the second element is theta. So here we must look at the value for theta first. We must determine the direction. Now the theta is negative. Okay, the theta is negative means the direction is downward. So if you have 0 here, this becomes negative 90, this is negative 180 and negative 270. And we want to look at negative 150. So here is negative 120 in the middle, and this is negative 150. Now we found the direction. It is at negative 150 degree. Okay. After you determine the angle, negative 150, you have to look at the r, the radius or the distance from the pole, which is 3 units. Okay, this is 1 unit, this is 2 unit, and this 3 units. So the point P is here. Okay, now number 5, plot the point of polar coordinates negative 4, 300. So again, the coordinate is in the form of r theta. Theta is 300, r is this. So first you have to determine the angle 300. 300 is positive, so it rotates counterclockwise. Where is 300? 300 is here, right? And you can fill in the middle points of the angles by 30-degree increment. Where is 300? Now you know that your 300 angles is here. Okay, that is our direction. Now look at r. R is -4. If 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, if the radius is 4, this is the plotting, but you have negative radius, means that the direction now is on the opposite side. Okay, in the same line, opposite side here, and with the same radius, with the same distance from the pole, it is here. So this is your, if you denote this as P, this is your P as the final answer. So this is not the final answer. This is just the temporary process. The final answer is here, the final plotting. is this. Okay, so when you have negative radius, first you look at the direction and then you make the opposite side. Okay, so this is the opposite side since of the negative radius. Now look number 6, plot the point of polar coordinates -2, -60. Now both your r and theta is negative. Don't worry, we must look at theta first, -60. So it's going downward for negative. You have -90 here, -180, and so on. So where is -60? It is here. So now you know this is your direction, -60. Okay, but for r you have -2. If it is 2, it is here, but -2 means that the direction should be opposite side. It on here with the same distance 2. So this, if this point is denoted by Q, this is your final answer, Q. Okay, so let's fill in all the, we want to know what angle here. If you plot this like this, if you label like this, you know that the new -2, -60 can also be represented by 2, 120 degree. Okay.